Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe with your notifications on and I'll be posting daily Teen Wolf content. Channels like Jade's Corner and Teen Wolf News inspired me to make content and I've been a Teen Wolf fan from the very start. Now let's get right into the video. We open on Scott going into a parking lot with grocery bags. One of the bottles rolls out of the bag and goes underneath a car, then it rolls back out on its own and Scott hears something growling at him, then he starts running. His heart is racing and he jumps onto other cars so their alarm goes off. He's hiding behind a car, then his phone goes off and Derek picks him up and slams him on a car. Derek said it was a test and said he's dead because his phone went off. Scott then starts blaming himself for Stiles' dad getting hit by the car the other night, and he said he needs Derek to show him how to control the shift so he can protect people. Derek said he is what he is because of birth and teaching someone who was bitten takes time. He tells Scott to get rid of distractions so he can learn faster, then he shows Scott the missed call he got from Allison and said she's the reason why he caught him so he should get rid of her, then he destroys Scott's phone. Scott thinks it's because of Allison's family. Then Derek said that's the first lesson, if he wants to shift he does it by anger and he can't do it with Allison around. He then asked Scott if he can stay away from Allison at least until after the full moon and Scott said yes. In the next scene Scott is in bed with Allison. Kate knocked on Allison's door and she immediately hid Scott in her closet, then they started talking about Allison's dad gunning down a mountain lion. Allison told Kate that she has to do a history project that requires info specific to her family, and Kate told her to search for the beast online, and then she says it's an old French legend that has something to do with her family. After Allison searched she found out that in 1766 in a province of Lozère, the beast killed over 100 people. Kate then said there were mysterious animal attacks like the ones in Beacon Hills. Allison then asked Kate what it is. Kate replied nobody knows for sure, but it definitely wasn't a mountain lion. She then asked Allison what the picture of the beast looks like to her, and Allison said it looks like a wolf. Kate leaves Allison's room, then Scott jumps down from her window. He hears something and he thinks it's Derek, so starts talking, and he said that he knows that he told him he'll stay away but he broke his phone so he had to tell her why he wasn't answering. Scott goes closer up to the bushes and he sees the alpha, then he starts running to his car immediately. He sees it in the mirror and it makes a symbol with its claw on his car. Scott is then seen at home closing his window because he's terrified, and he turns the lights on and sees Derek sitting in his room. Derek asked what happened. Did the alpha talk to him, and Scott makes a sarcastic comment that they had a nice conversation about the weather. Derek then said he should remember that his other senses are heightened so communication doesn't have to be spoken. He asked what kind of impression or feeling did he get from him. Scott then said he got the feeling of anger from him but it wasn't directed at him. He then tells Derek that he noticed it especially after he drew the spiral. Derek looks concerned and he tries to say it's nothing. Scott then brought up the fact that he buried his sister under a spiral and asked what it means. Derek said he doesn't want to know, then leaves. Scott is then at school and he's trying to stay away from Allison and Jackson. Stiles is not talking to him and Scott is asking how his dad is doing, and then he told Stiles that he went to Derek for help. Stiles says he's an idiot for trusting him. Stiles then asked what Derek said and Scott told him that Derek said he has to tap into his animal instinct. Stiles then says he has until the end of the day to teach him how to control the shift. Allison is then seen reading a book about the beast to Lydia and she's not interested at all. She then shows Lydia a picture of the beast and Lydia starts staring at it and has a flashback of when she saw the alpha. Scott and Stiles are now on the field and Stiles give him a heart monitor. Stiles then says that his heart rate goes up when he's playing lacrosse or when he's with Allison and he just has to learn how to control it. Stiles takes his hands up behind him and starts hurling stickballs at him, and Jackson sees this and stops to watch because he thinks it's funny. Scott's heart rate starts to rise and he breaks the tape and he was able to control it, then he told Stiles that the angrier he got the stronger he felt. He then says he can't be around Allison because she makes him weak. Scott and Stiles are in the locker room now and Scott says something smells like it's rotting, then Jackson is seen looking ill and he goes in front of the mirror and removes the bandage from the back of his neck, and the claw marks he got were still not healed. Then he sees claws coming out of his mouth, then they disappear. He then sees Allison in the hallway reading a book for her history project, then he sits down beside her. She asked him if he wants something and he says yes, he wants to apologize for the way he's been acting towards her and Scott, and she said she doesn't believe that he's being sincere. He then asked her if she knows what's it like to be the best player on the team. Then some kid comes along and everyone starts looking at him instead of you. He said he feels like something has been stolen from him. He tells her that he likes her and Scott and he wants to get to know them better. Allison is now in class and finally gets to talk to Scott, and she says she feels disconnected from him and she changed her lab partner to him. Coach then asks for a summary of the reading they were supposed to do. Scott says he didn't do the reading. He asked Scott to summarize any reading he's ever done, and this starts to raise Scott's heartbeat, and Stiles sees Allison's holding Scott's hand. This made Scott calm down, and Stiles said she doesn't make him weak, she's like an anchor. Stiles got an idea and he told Scott to hold up car keys while he keyed someone's car, and they began to beat Scott up. Stiles told him to find Allison's voice and think about her no matter what happens. Scott's heart rate started to rise and he heard Allison's voice and calmed down. Derek is then seen talking to Peter and he's asking for help. He asked Peter to blink or move his finger and give him a sign if he can hear him. Derek told him that someone killed Laura, and whoever he is, he's an alpha now. But he's one without a pack, which means he's not as strong. Derek said he can take him, but he has to find him first, and if he knows something he should give him a sign. Derek asked if it's one of them, meaning if it's a hail. Then he asked if someone else made it out of the fire. He kept asking Peter for a sign and he didn't give one while Derek was there, but he slowly moved his finger after he left. Derek then sees a note left on his car and he doesn't know who left it. Scott and Stiles are now in detention, and Scott asks the teacher if he can go to work and he doesn't answer. Scott tells Stiles that they're best friends and he doesn't want him to be angry at him anymore. Stiles then tells him that he has something and he can do things that nobody else can do. Then the teacher let both of them out. Deaton is now on screen and he starts talking because he thinks Scott is there. Derek looks at him and asked if he knows about the animal he found with the spiral on the side. Deaton asked what animal, and Derek show him a newspaper article of the deer. Deaton said yes, but he didn't find it. He was called and it's just a deer and HES never seen anything like it. Derek hears Deaton's heartbeat and said it's rising. He then accuses him of lying. Deaton is shown bounded now and Derek asks if he's protecting someone. Derek said he wants to know why Deaton is lying, and Deaton said he doesn't know what he's talking about. Derek asked who he is and what he's protecting. Scott shows up and asks what Derek is doing, then Derek knocks out Deaton. He then says that when he's conscious he can't keep him from healing, but when he's unconscious he can. Derek says the spiral is their sign for vendetta and revenge and he won't stop killing until he's satisfied. Scott then asks if he thinks Deaton is the alpha and Derek responds, "We're going to find out." Scott grabs Derek's hand before can claw Deaton and he shifts immediately. He then goes back to his human form. Derek asks Scott if he has a plan and Scott says he should give him an hour and meet him at the school in the parking lot. Stiles and Scott are now at the school. Then Derek arrives. Both Scott and Stiles are in the school and Scott has a few failed attempts at howling, then he eventually gets it right. Scott then asked what Derek did to Deaton and Derek was shocked because he didn't do anything to him and he disappeared, and then the alpha shows up and claws Derek, then throws him at the wall and Scott and Stiles runs into the school. End. Thank you all for watching.